Do you love Caribbean travel and soft sand between your toes, or the taste of smooth rum and getting lost in island beauty? If so, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Caribbean Castaways podcast. You are about to embark on a journey where you will learn about everything the Caribbean has to offer, from the best beaches and places to stay to the best restaurants and things to do. Everything you need to know to get the most out of your vacation and become a salty Caribbean castaway. Then please welcome your hosts, Caribbean travel bloggers, RumShopRyan and Castaway Crystal.
Hello, Castaways. Welcome to the Caribbean Castaways podcast. This is episode 0, our very first one. So how else would you want to start the new year than to do new things that you've never done before? Again, thank you for listening. We are recording in our living room.
But yeah, so we are Caribbean travel bloggers. My name is Ryan. This is Crystal. We also go by AKA RumShopRyan and Castaway Crystal. And we're here to basically help people have the best Caribbean vacations they can. And we get to see and do a lot of awesome things in the islands. And we want to share those things with you guys so you can experience them just like we do. Let's see. So please subscribe to us. We know that a lot of people consume content in different ways, but please subscribe to us and leave us a review on iTunes if you like this. If you don't, you don't have to leave a comment or anything like that, but we really want to try to give you guys the best content possible. So today, episode 0, we really just want to talk about ourselves, telling you how it got started, who RumShopRyan is, who Castaway Crystal is, and some other, get to know you fun type things. So that is our agenda. And like I said, we're streaming this live. So who knows what the Instagram audience is actually looking at right now, but it's going to be awesome. So let's get started.
All right, Ryan, first on the agenda, tell us how RumShopRyan started.
So it's actually a really, really good story. It's a long story, believe it or not. So RumShopRyan got started probably back in, so the actual launch date was 2009, but the whole idea started coming together in 2007. So I got invited to a wedding. Thank you, Mr. Remington, JR, Remington and Angela, for inviting me to your wedding. It was amazing. And that wedding happened on St. John. And that was my very first time heading down to the Caribbean. I'd seen the Keys. We live here in Fort Myers. The beaches are awesome. But the Virgin Islands completely blew me away. And after that was over, I had to figure out a way to get down to the Virgin Islands as much as humanly possible without going broke. Just a humble marketing guy and designer at the time. So I was like, I got to figure out a way to get down here. So that was back in 2007. It took me about a year, year and a half to put together this idea. It all started with a Twitter account, RumShopRyan on Twitter. And I went down to the Keys and started posting some pictures of the Keys. And I did it originally to help my friends who couldn't go, see what was happening in the Keys. But there were a whole bunch of other people started following, that experience. I was like, wow, there might be something here. And then I was like, okay, there's some traction. And then let's start a Facebook page. And then the Facebook page got some traction. I was like, okay, let's jump in both feet. And I created RumShopRyan.com 1.0. I was not a website designer, but I figured it out, and it took a while to get together, but it was a perfect place to share the passion of the islands, the Caribbean, the Keys, and all that stuff. And a lot of people have that same passion. What else? So I had a couple failed businesses, during that time, leading up, but Menu Venue, SWFL, I still think it's a good idea, but it did fail. But all that failure actually led to creating RumShopRyan.
It's all trial and error.
It really is. And if I wouldn't have failed doing that and learning how to piece together a website or write good blogs, I wouldn't have been able to do RumShopRyan as well. So yeah. What else? Why the name RumShopRyan? So that's a great question. RumShopRyan, a rum shop in the Caribbean, it's you hear mostly about the rum shops from Barbados, right? They're everywhere. But a rum shop is where black and white, rich and poor, all different kinds of people can get together and talk about, politics and sports and just kind of talk about what's going on in the world. And I envision RumShopRyan.com to be the same thing, except with like people who are super passionate about the islands, and we could all get together, talk about other people's experiences, and everybody could find out the best things to do in the islands. So that's kind of how RumShopRyan came to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So enough about me. Well, tell us who Castaway Crystal is. Like, I know I married you, so I know a little bit, but
about me.
There's a lot of people who don't know who Castaway Crystal is.
I'm still trying to figure out who she is. It's a loaded question, but basically I'm just a simple girl. I grew up in Florida. We moved down here when I was 3 from Pennsylvania, so I still have a little bit of Pittsburgh roots in me. Go Steelers. But I love the beach. I've always loved to travel. And I'm a huge animal lover and advocate for them. And I also kind of just always consider myself as a gypsy, kind of like a tumbleweed, where I would just always try new experiences. I'm always willing to do something new just to say that I did it. There was a time where I got kind of tired of being here in Florida. So I just packed up everything and moved to Nashville for a year. And then I decided that it wasn't for me because I missed the beach too much.
It's too cold in Nashville.
Always hindsight's 2020. You think you're living somewhere that's kind of miserable, or you don't like the people, and then you realize there are kind of jerks everywhere. So it's nice to go back to your old familiar. And then you just really appreciate where you grew up more once you kind of leave that space. So I really appreciated what Florida had to offer with the wildlife and the beaches. And just we're really blessed here for what we have when it comes to the outdoor activities and the weather.
Yeah, it's great here.
And then when I met Ryan, it was totally different because I had no clue what like a blogger was or what they did. I really wasn't into the social media scheme. Like, yes, I had a Facebook, and I had an Instagram, but it was all personal. And I just didn't, I never thought myself to be like a social media personality. And here I am.
But you're really good at it too. You were really good.
Now doing podcasts, which honestly, I've never really listened to podcasts until he wanted to do one. But I always had a hobby for photography and writing. And so when I got with Ryan, I was like, hey, if you're doing this travel stuff, I could be your photographer. You don't have to take selfies all the time. Let's get like the whole picture of where you're at. And then I kind of started doing that. And then I just happened one day to type up a story about the sand.
It was really good.
Just a simple story about sand on Rose Island.
Sandy Toes Beach Bar.
A Sandy Toes Beach Bar. That was the first press trip I got to do in 2016 with Ryan.
Yep.
And he really liked my writing skills, and he decided to continue to help me be a part of the brand.
I actually think Crystal wanted to be in front of the lens instead of behind the lens a little bit more. And I was all for that. I don't want it to always be about me. And I think we have a nice little good dynamic. And I think having a woman's perspective on travel as well is super, super important. It's a lot more relatable. I think most people are couples and are families that are traveling. So thanks for being a part of it.
You're welcome. And also too, like being in a relationship, do you really want to see your partner go off to all these amazing islands without you?
No.
No, I do not. So I'm just glad it all worked out, and all my hobbies and natural love for travel and everything just kind of intertwined and were great ingredients to help build his blog and his brand.
Yeah. Super cool.
So that's about me in a nutshell for now. But let's go back to you, Ryan. Like, who is RumShopRyan?
Who is RumShopRyan? So getting down to the foundations and the roots, I am a Kansas kid. So if you've been reading the blog for a while, or if you're brand new, so I am from a very small town in Kansas, Gardner, Kansas, which is about 45 minutes south of Kansas City. Great town. Super glad I was born and raised there. But one thing about Kansas is there are no beaches and oceans and things like that. And for whatever reason, I've always been drawn to the ocean. I wanted to be a marine biologist. I loved whales when I was a kid. And there's really nothing you can do in marine biology in Kansas.
No.
So I knew that was in my heart. I went to Pittsburgh State, which is Southeast Kansas. Go Gorillas. And I graduated in 5 years. I didn't want to leave, apparently. And as soon as I graduated, I didn't want to move back to Kansas City like everybody else. I knew that if I was going to get stuck or married or get a job somewhere, I wanted to live where people vacation. So, I put up a map on my wall and I did a pros and cons of like California, Texas, Arizona, and Florida. Like a huge nerd, I was like, what's good about this area? What's bad about it? And I figured if I was going to go south, might as well go all the way. And so I did some interviews with a buddy of mine in Tampa. I didn't get anything in Tampa. And then he got an offer in this place called Naples, Florida. I was like, the only thing I know about Naples is a lot of old people and a lot of money. So we moved to Naples and I was like, let's just do it. I'll get a job. But we didn't know a single person, didn't have a job. I got a job doing graphic design. And I went running on the beach every morning. I was like, this is the best decision I ever made up until that point. Now that I'm married, Crystal, you are the best decision I've ever made.
You're welcome.
So now it's the second best decision I've ever made. But making that change really opened my eyes up to the beach lifestyle, and I completely fell in love with Florida. And then that kind of leads us up to the Caribbean, how the Caribbean was even another notch above Florida. I've always worked in advertising and marketing. That's how I started, getting into the blogging area a little bit and being able to fiddle with websites. But I've always been able to create some audiences and just kind of help people do what they want to do with their passions. And that's kind of how RumShop came to be, just using the skills I had through school and whatever. But it's just kind of a marketing nerd. I have a beat up Jeep Wrangler with a big Jayhawk on the back of it here in Fort Myers. If you guys see me in Fort Myers, if you see that Jeep, give me a honk. I will be happy to honk at you back. Love seeing people out there. Go Jayhawks. But yeah, that's basically who I am. Just a Kansas kid, a marketing nerd, and a travel blogger. That's it. What's next? So we get asked a lot of different questions.
You do.
I mean, it could be anything off the wall. And if you guys are watching us here on live Instagram, you can feel free to ask some questions. We will try to answer those as we do that. But some of the more common questions we get asked are...
The first common question that we ever get, because the website is RumShopRyan.com, are people ask, Ryan, what kind of rum do we sell? Or are we a rum distributor? And no, we don't sell rum and we're not a rum distributor.
Yeah, sorry, guys, we don't sell rum. I know the name is kind of, suggesting otherwise. But like I mentioned earlier, RumShop is just a place where kind of people come to congregate about certain things. And that's what I wanted the website to be about. But we do not sell rum. So sorry for that. What's another one? Is this our full-time job?
Well, it's not mine yet, but starting the beginning of December, this is now Ryan's full-time job, is working for RumShop.
Yeah. So I always worked in like marketing agencies in-house and then, separate agencies, but December 2nd, I think was my last
December
day.
2nd was your last day there.
And so we went from my last day, we jumped on a catamaran in the Virgin Islands. Thank you so much, Birmar, Tyler and Erica. But that was it. And then we jumped in with both feet. You are a fantastic massage therapist.
Thank you. I try.
So she does massage therapy here in Fort Myers. But obviously our goal is to, try to do this full time for both of us and just help as many people as we possibly can. What is our favorite Caribbean island? That's a big
one we get. It's hard to choose, and we haven't been to them all, but they are all on our list. But we do seem to gravitate towards St. John a lot in the Virgin Islands. It's just a great area because, for one, if you don't have a passport, you can still go to St. Thomas and St. Croix and St. John. And also, too, if you do have your passport, then you can island hop throughout the British Virgin Islands as well. And it's just, they're so close together.
Yeah. There's great shopping. There's great hiking. There's so much nature. And St. John is 2/3 a national park. And I think that's a big reason why we gravitate towards that. So, I mean, again, that's one of our favorites. The Exumas. We really love the Bahamas. They're obviously close to Florida, but all the islands are so different. They all have their own personalities.
Definitely
So
have,
it's kind of
yeah.
like what mood you're in. Like
Exactly.
if you want to go party, you could go to like San Juan. If you want to do diving, go to Bonaire. So it's whatever, kind of mood you're in or what you want to do. But yeah, the Virgin Islands, the BVI. I really like Exuma.
Yeah. The water in the Exumas, I mean, it just bursts. They just glow like it's, plugged in.
It's like, how is that real? Abaco, the water did the same thing there at Treasure Key.
Yes.
That was awesome.
That's awesome. And sadly, they're still rebuilding. And I saw that they're actually in Abaco. They're still out of power since Hurricane Dorian hit 4 months ago. So, but don't let that deter you. There's still plenty of places to visit in the Bahamas. Still just Abaco and Grand Bahama are just kind of out. So if you want to donate, you can definitely look into some places where you can donate for them too, because they still definitely need some help out there.
Yeah, good call. Clem Cap 73. What's your favorite? Is that the BVI?
What is your favorite spot in the BVI?
Favorite spot in the BVI? I absolutely love the BVI because there's something different on every single island. Great question.
That's a hard one. Virgin Gorda is awesome.
Yeah, so we spent our honeymoon on Virgin Gorda at Guavaberry Spring Bay, right there in the Baz. It was a magical experience. Love Virgin Gorda. We always end up on Yoast. It seems like everybody has to go to Yoast at least one time during their charter day or whatever. Do the White Bay experience.
Yeah, you can't pass up White Bay. That's always a great spot.
Yeah, so I spent some time on Anegada as well. It's the flat BVI island, and we rented scooters, saw a couple of beach bars. It's really hard to pick one, but I would say Virgin Gorda and the Baz and White Bay are probably my
two favorites.
Spots. Yeah.
So far anyways.
Yeah. There's always more to explore.
Yeah, there's always definitely more to explore. Like they said, the Bass in Virgin Gorda, it's just these rocks that just come out of nowhere, and it's only on that side of the island and throughout the British Virgin Islands, really. So it's just a very unique spot to check out. So put that on your list.
Yeah.
If it's not.
Another question we get often, favorite rums. So like the islands, your favorite rums are hard to pick as well. They're all different ones. Me personally, I really like El Dorado rums. Older the better. I like the 18-year-old Angostura 1919 is really good. I'm actually sipping on some Papa's Pilar Platinum right now. It's a very good rum down in Key West. And if I'm mixing things like that for a rum punch or going to the beach, it's usually Blue Chair Bay. They have a whole bunch of different flavors, and that's one I like. Do you have any rums that you like, Castaway Crystal?
I'm more of a wine girl, actually. I mean, I'll definitely do a rum punch, but I can't sip on rum like Ryan does. And I see somebody. You're coming to Tampa. We're trying to come to the Tampa show in May as well. So hopefully we'll get to see you there.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
We're going to be there early. We're going to tailgate all day. So go Kenny in Tampa. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up our podcast, guys. We do get
short and sweet.
Yeah. We do have two cats, so they like to have fun with us sometimes.
I'm going to find one more cat.
But we do get a lot of questions about other people wanting to do blogs. If you want to be a blogger or are a blogger and want some help, I'm also happy to help you guys do that. I do have I wrote an ebook that kind of walks you through how to make money with a travel blog. And I also have a free checklist of a list of all the blogger tools that I use as far as social media and your website and things to make money. And it's a huge list. I will put that in the show notes, and you guys can download those if you like. And then we also serve businesses. We really want to connect people with the best experiences in the Caribbean. So if you are a business in the Caribbean, we do have a Best of the Caribbean directory where we try and find the best places to stay, best places to eat, and best things to do. And we don't let just anybody in there. They do have to qualify.
To know why they're the best and why we should promote them on our page to tell you guys where to go, where to stay, and what fun things you guys should do while you're there.
Yeah, we don't want to send you to any crappy places.
No.
So definitely everything is vetted through us and they have to qualify. So that is currently being built. And that is about it.
And yeah, thank you once again, guys, for listening and for watching this grueling experience for us for the first time on Instagram.
Super fun.
But it's been fun. You know, everything's always just new and exciting and nerve-wracking, but we thank you guys again for listening to us. And if you want to follow, definitely follow us on Facebook at RumShopRyan. You can follow us on our YouTube channel at RumShopRyan, and you can also follow us on Instagram at Caribbean Castaways.
That's right. And for us to kind of thank you, we would really like to know how you guys are listening to us today. Take a screenshot of your phone, how you're listening to this podcast, and then go to Instagram and tag us in that story or DM us. And then we would really like to see that. And then we'll send you a personal thank you. And again, thank you so much. If you want more Caribbean travel action, please head on over to RumShopRyan.com, or like Crystal said, hit us up on the RumShopRyan YouTube channel.
So thanks again, guys, and cheers.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.